See, there we go. I think that's going to be a little better.
Okay, guys. Yeah, here we go. Take two on the show. I apologize for that little hiccup. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel embarrassed that happened. But thank you guys for joining us again. As we said, we had a special guest for you guys today. Looks a lot better here on the phone. So thank you guys for retuning in. And Miguel, we've already wasted enough time with the internet, so let's bring them on.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go. How we doing, guys?
How's everyone doing?
Hello, gentlemen. Hello. How are you?
Man, I dig that vinyl. Is that a vinyl in the back? Or
yes, it is. I'll give you a little history on it real quick. Before I do, just want to say hello to everybody. Juan Cancel from Protocol Cigars. Usually I'm here with Kevin, my partner, but because of his day job, he couldn't get off in time. So I have not a substitute, but just as good, a friend of mine. He's a great buddy of mine, Tristan, but he's also our social media director. This is Tristan, everybody.
Pleasure. Nice to meet all of you.
How you doing, man? How you doing?
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So going back to this. So this thing used to travel with us when we went to on events at the show, the trade show, and it's massive. It is aluminum tubing, great cloth drop. And as we started traveling more, we were like, we don't want to carry this thing anymore. So now we keep it in the studio as a backdrop when we do all our stuff, like all the podcasts like this, the lives and the virtual events. This is what we do now.
Oh, that's an excellent idea. It looks perfect for it. It works very well.
Yeah.
Yes, it's really well made. I like the way it looks on camera. If you guys can do us a favor and just kind of introduce Protocol Cigars to people who may not be familiar with it.
Sure.
It took us a long time to finally get them out in California, and I'm sure people are wondering about it.
Absolutely. Be my pleasure. While I talk, you mind just sharing that on I'm trying to get as many viewers as we can on here. I'm sharing it everywhere. Put it on Johnny Smokes Uncut. All right. So Protocol started in 2015. It is a police officer owned, operated, and themed cigar line. Myself and my old partner, Bill, started this. We had an idea of actually the idea was presented to us that we should start a cigar company, and because we were very, we were just consumers to consumers. Not like this is what we did for a living. This is more of a hobby, a passion that turned into a business in the sense that, the idea was put in our head, why don't you guys come out with a cigar? And we kind of laughed, and like, nobody's ever going to buy us, listen to us. And he was like, you should. You guys got a great social media following. So what happened was we got together in 2015 and we teamed up with Eric Espinoza and the whole Espinoza Premium Cigar family. And he has a factory in Esteli, Nicaragua, and it's called La Zona, which I mentioned already. And we asked him if he could make the cigars for us, and surprisingly, he said yes. And the first production run was a Protocol Blue, which I'm actually smoking right now. And it was 2,500 Toros and 2,500 Corona Gordos. And we kind of thought we were going to have these cigars for pretty much ever. And they sold out in 3 months. So
nice.
This is like a big dream for us because, again, we weren't born, Bill or I or anybody who's in the company now, we weren't born into this. We were more consumers. And, we love cigars. We have a passion for cigars. And it's just like you guys, you have a passion and you're doing the podcast, but you're also consumers and you smoke. Just like everybody out there watching, you guys, love and you geek out. And we were just, two cigar nerds that were lucky enough and the stars aligned the right way. And we made a company, and everything we do is very consumer based because we are consumers at heart. It's the foundation of the company. Would you agree, Tristan?
Absolutely. It's a phenomenal. My little backstory here is I actually used to be one of the largest purchasers of Protocol at the ripe young age of 19. And I just started hanging around too much. And they're like, hey, you want to do the social media? I was like, yeah, absolutely. And I think it hurt their sales margins a bit. But now I'm just a pretty face behind a camera.
No, I know how that.
He is very pretty, yes.
So, you were talking about your original blend. How was the experience working with Eric Espinosa at the factory and, getting the samples and tasting them? And then how did you end up picking your original Blue Label blend?
So that's actually a great question. So when the time when Bill and my other partner, the financial backer, also name is Bill, when he said, "Listen, let's be serious and let's do this." The next question was, "What? How, we're not in the sense that we don't have a factory. So who are we going to get to make our cigars?" And through the years and just through, I was such a cigar nerd that I would actually go to different events. Especially, I live right next to Famous Smoke Shop in Eastern PA. Shout out to those guys. And I was always in it. I was like 2 miles from my house, just always in there. Always in if they have any event, Rocky Patel, Pete Johnson, Steve Saka, Jonathan Drew, and they had anything, I was there. And I got to know a lot of these guys by going through their events. And I also got to know Eric. Besides that, when I was a cop with the Port Authority, I was the organizer of a member of the Port Authority Police Hispanic Society. And for 10 years, we had this great cigar night out. So it was kind of a long name, but it was the Port Authority Police Hispanic Society Cigar Night Out. And like year 9 was the best year. We had AJ Fernandez there, Rocky Patel, Rafael Nodal, Steve Saka, Nick Molino. I think Jonathan Drew was there. The Caldwell guys, just so many. It must have been at least 30 like high level cigar celebrities, which I call them, in those days, and they still are in my mind. But that's the level of how that event I was throwing kind of like grew. And not to digress, the reason I even said that is because that's through that event and my passion is how I grew these relationships. So I could pretty much have chosen anybody I wanted to make the cigar, but at the time I was and still am a pretty big Espinosa fanboy. So I actually asked Eric one day, if he'd consider making a cigar for us. And I thought he was going to laugh at us, but he was amazingly enough. He said, absolutely. He goes, you guys, push my brand a lot. You do a lot for my company with the social media. And that's how we started. So once we got together, to answer your question, I kind of want to give a quick little backdrop of how we got there. So we go to Eric and we said, okay, boom, let's going to make the cigar. So what Eric did, put us together with his blender. His name is Hector Alfonso Sr., great human being. And basically Hector asked us in the beginning, now we know a little bit more about the process, but back then it's like, if I go to you guys and I say, I want to make you a cigar just for you, you're not going to be able to tell me I want this wrapper, that, because it's very difficult. So what he did was he basically asked me, what are your 5 favorite cigars? And I told him what the 5 favorite cigars were at the time. Give me some of your wrappers. What do you like as wrappers? Because the average nerd could tell you what their 5 favorite cigars are and what wrapper they really like. So I told them about my wrappers. What would you want your cigar to taste like? Well, I could mix this and that. So Bill and I just gave him all this information. So Hector was like, it's a lot to process. Give me some time and I'll get back to you. So about 3 weeks later, let me take a puff of this. Hold on.
3 phenomenal weeks later.
3 long weeks later, we get the 18 cigars, 2 each. So labeled 1 through 9. So Hector said, this is what I put together. I put together these 9 blends. Now let me know, out of these 9 blends, what do you like? So Bill and I told him, listen, let's not discuss each other's stuff. Let's not talk about, I love 1 and I hate 9 or whatever. Let's smoke them all. We won't talk at all about this process of what we like, whatever, to the very end. We won't rush each other to a point. And I think it took us about maybe maybe a week and a half or so to smoke all 18 cigars. I had 9 and he had 9, so it was 18. When we were done, we went back to each other and we didn't even start comparing notes. He goes, what was your favorite? And I think we chose the same one, which was the blue one. This blend was the one we chose. And then his 2 was my 3 and my 3 were his 2. But we should have probably kept those 2. Exactly. There she goes. We probably should have kept a note on what those 2 blends were. So maybe it could be the 2nd and 3rd release. But we were just so excited to have this release. We totally forgot. And now through the passage of time, we try to ask Hector what those blends were. He doesn't remember. He didn't write them down. He just basically did, right? And who knows? They're probably gone by now anyway. So we did that cigar and we loved it. And the reason why we came out with this blend, we chose it. It's a very full body. I'll talk about the blend. So it's an Ecuadorian Habano Escudo wrapper, a Nicaraguan Habano binder, and a quadruple hero filler from Nicaragua. So it's very strong, but the characteristics of Habano tobacco is creamy and spicy, peppery. So when we doubled up on the Habano, it made it very creamy and a little bit more spicy to counterbalance the strength and the power of that quadruple hero. So we actually love this cigar. And again, Bill and I thought we were going to be smoking these for the rest of our lives. And then 3 months later, they were gone. And then we just kept coming out with some stuff. So now that we've been doing this for a while, we can actually talk about a little bit more like what we're thinking about for the blends instead of just having to do all that work we do with Hector. And by now, Hector actually knows our palate, so he's a lot of times will say, "Listen, we'll go talk to Hector, and we'll tell him, listen, we're thinking about this." He goes, "Juan, I kind of figure out what you want. I'm gonna." So basically, now he's learned us to the point where, especially with our last cigar, I told him I wanted a Connecticut broadleaf for it, and he was like, Connecticut broadleaf is really hard to find, so that's why we wound up with the Nicaraguan broadleaf. But he put together this. He goes, "I think I know what you're talking about, Juan." He put something together, send it to me. I was like, "I want it to be this. I want it to be bold. I want to go back to our roots, to some strong cigars." And he sent it back, and I loved it. So I hope that answered that question. That was a lot of words coming out.
No, that was fantastic.
like that.
That was fantastic.
Little,
So, oh, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
little side note for myself: how do I get one of those very nice table lighters you have right there? The
These
very large-
actually,
I
where are
believe
they?
it's orange.
Where'd they go? This one right here, you're talking about, right?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, for you guys
Oh,
watching
yeah, of
right
course,
now.
yeah, turn it blue.
So it's cool because it's also it's a quadruple flame, and it's also it holds the cigars perfectly. It's like let's say if you're not, I just dropped it in the ashtray. But if you guys want this, you guys watching out there, you go to our website protocolcigars.com. Google that, and it'll bring you right to our website. And we have them on there. They actually sell pretty good because they're really great lighters. People love them. So you guys watching, if you guys interested at all, you know, can you do a search for me? What's the price on this?
No problem.
We'll figure out, but if you put it on protocolcigars.com, you can find them. It has the P in the front, and again, it's really cool because it's got like a glass side, so you actually see how much gas is in there. Quadruple flame. It's actually one of my favorite lighters we have, and then it's just awesome.
Nice.
Fantastic. So, after you came off the Blue Label, you guys went ahead and you guys followed that up. You guys came out with was it the theft?
All right, this one is $40, but it's a tabletop, so it's really big. $40.
Oh yeah.
And people have been buying them like crazy. People love them. It's a Rhino lighter. It's called. All right, so I'm sorry. So what was your question? Repeat it, please.
Sure, yeah. So after the follow-up to the Blue Label, was it the Red Label that was next, or was it the Themis?
That is correct, sir. It's the red label, the probable cause. So with us selling the first production run and maybe selling out of the third production run, we were like, wow, we thought we were going to smoke these cigars for the rest of our lives, and people are still buying them. So I guess that means we're going to have to come out with a second one. And you know, we chose this blend, and I love it and all, but I absolutely adore Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper. That is my favorite wrapper out of all. I remember the first cigar I ever had in it that really made me fall in love was a Eddie Ortega Series D Maduro. I forgot what it was. I don't think it was the 60. Maybe it was the Toro. But that cigar that Eddie Ortega had with that Mexican San Andreas, and it just smoked like a chocolate bar. It just had that nice cocoa, earthy, little bit of sweetness. I fell in love with that. And then when I started asking, what is this wrapper? And I started doing more research on it, and I just started buying. I love Mexican San Andreas. So I was like, the next one we come out with has to be a Mexican San Andreas. So we told Hector, listen, because the next one has to be Mexican San Andreas. Because you want to know why? Because we said this will probably be the last cigar we ever come out with. Nobody's ever going to buy it, but I just be cool to have a Mexican San Andreas because it's my favorite wrapper. So Eric and Hector got together and they created a blend, and we told him how we wanted it. I basically explained to him what I was envisioning, and Eric at the time started to understand our palates a little more. So Hector was also learning our palates. So he blended this great cigar. It's a Mexican San Andreas Maduro wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler, and I just fell in love with it. It was like smoking a Hershey bar. It was just amazing. And again, we thought, boom. We're never going to sell these. Nobody are ever going to buy them. But guess what? We're okay with that because I love the cigar and I will smoke the cigar for the rest of my life. As a matter of fact, when I saw them starting to like sell a lot on social media, I was like, could you guys please stop buying these? Because we're going to run out and I'm not going to have any more. And those also sold out. So yes, the Probable Cause was the second installment of our line, and it did awesome. Tristan, you want to add to that?
I mean, I actually fell in love with the company. So the first time I ever had a Protocol, Juan met up with me right before the Themis release. Which was the third installment in the cigar line, and he ended up giving it to me in a Lancero and was a Robusto or Toro.
The first one we came out was a Toro.
It was a Toro then, and I just fell in love with the cigar right away. It was fantastic. It was the smoothest cigar I've ever smoked. It wasn't just your like natural Ecuador or in Connecticut or anything like that. It had a bite to it. It had a kick. It had a lot of flavor to it. So most of the time, you don't get anything like that in Connecticut.
Very nice. I'm sorry about the interruptions, by the way, guys. The internet over here is just giving us some trouble right now.
I don't notice any sort of interruption. I don't know, like if something happens with you guys, we just go to full screen. I don't think it like skips or anything like that because I'm actually still have us live here, so it's not like we've lost anything. So it's not terrible.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually an interruption. I think that's just the quality of production that we have on this side. We'll let you guys go full screen, so it's all good. Don't worry about it. We're gonna lie that way.
I love the explanation.
That is,
fantastic.
if you would have told me we're just giving you time to talk and making you the centerpiece, I was like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool function that they have. So
I wish I would have went with that now. Damn.
You should have, guys. And so actually, Tristan, great little segue into the third release. So as we started traveling more, started doing more events and interacting with more people would ask us, you guys have a lighter body cigar? And we'd say, we look at each other and be like, no, we got strong and stronger. You have a natural color, a natural bind, wrapper. No, we got dark and darker. So we were still doing good in the business, and we were like, wow, we can't keep these cigars on, and people, they smoke great. And we were like, what do we do now? And as we started traveling, like I said, people were asking for a more lighter bodied cigar, something in a natural. So we were like, we're going to have to address this because you want to have a diverse portfolio. You just don't want to have, don't get me wrong, by this time it's year 3. We're already known for having a very full flavored, full aroma cigar and, full body, just great cigar. But there are people out there that want a more lighter bodied cigar, Connecticut's and all Habanos and stuff like that. So we made a decision. We should actually just make a lot of cigars. So we went to Hector again. And we said, which is the Themis. And the Themis is actually the Greek goddess of justice. She is Zeus's first wife. Yeah, there she is. She's Zeus's first wife. Her job was to maintain law and order in the Greek world. And that's where they got the inspiration for the Lady of Justice, where you see her in front of every courthouse. So our third partner was a lawyer, and he was Greek. So that particular project was just to pay homage to him and his law enforcement kind of his what's the word I'm looking for?
His involvement in the justice system.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say. His involvement in the justice system. So we did that, and the idea was to do a Connecticut, Ecuadorian Connecticut shade, but we just didn't want to do because I personally, I know you are, but I personally am not a big fan of Connecticut because I like full body, full robust flavored cigars, and most Connecticut's are very lighter bodied, not too much full flavor. So when we did the blend, we stuck to our kind of roots and said, if we're going to do this, we have to do it with a protocol swing on it, a little protocol twist. So it has to have some ligero in there. It has to have some bite. And like Tristan touched on, we came out with this Connecticut shade, Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler, but we put some ligero in there. So it's not your, it's almost a cliche to say this, but it's not your grandfather's Connecticut, where you sometimes smoke these Connecticut's and they smoke like they're like smoking cardboard or paper, just basically, in my opinion, because I like a more fuller body, more complex thing. For me, it was like smoking cardboard. So, but when I smoked this, I was like, I'm not a Connecticut guy, but I actually like this. and it goes very well with coffee. What do you think?
Phenomenal.
That's-
It's a great cigar in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, you're getting all that spice, so it's going to wake you up.
Have you guys tried? You guys smoked that one, right?
Smoking it right now.
Yeah, he's smoking that right now.
What do you guys think about that one?
I dig it. You know, I got to be honest. When we first got him in, we got a little sampler with everything you guys make,
Right.
and the boss is like, "Here, smoke these. Let me know what you think." And I think I smoked them within the first 2 days of him handing it to me. I smoked every single one. They were fantastic.
They are awesome cigars. Pair very well with scotches and bourbons because they're not overpowering, so it won't overpower your scotch or bourbon too much. As long as you don't have like a smoky bourbon, I find like just a very simple like Johnny Black, right? It's nothing too
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah,
right?
something pretty nice, mild. Something
Yeah,
that
mild, like a mild
it's not
bourbon,
gonna
mild
kick your
scotch.
palate.
Rum, I do. Well, I love Ron Zacapa, so I pair that with everything. But my favorite thing to pair a Themis is actually with coffee. It's really, really good. There's just something about that Connecticut shade, Ecuadorian Connecticut shade, in the coffee. It's creamy, and then your coffee, if you add a little cream to it, it's just amazing. It's a great finish.
Speaking of coffee, you want to plug that?
Yeah, we could do that real quick. So I'll let you talk about that because I'm gonna take a swig.
So we actually just partnered with a new company, which is the name's lost to me. Wait a second.
Andean,
Yes, Andean cigar.
Andean Mountain Coffee.
They are fantastic. I love the brew. I love the blend, and they actually blended it with a couple of our cigars.
Yeah. So it's basically another way to give our supporters another in depth, or just increase their cigar smoking experience. So for the core line, the blue, red, and gold, we did 3 separate cigar coffee lines. One's very bold, more medium, and then lighter ones, but they pair extremely well. You guys could look at that Andean Mountain Coffee.
Andean Mountain. I love that. See, I'm a huge coffee fan. I mean, just give me coffee any time of day. I love it. And the fact that if it's paired with those cigars, I cannot wait to try that out for
Yeah,
myself.
they were actually blended specifically for those cigars,
I love
for
that.
these particular
I love
cigars.
And can we find that on your website as well?
We're eventually going to get we're still working, but if you Google Andean Mountain Coffee, you'll see their website. Eventually, what we're going to do when we get all the, because this is something fairly new, we're going to package everything, get the graphics and everything. And what happens is we'll put that on our website, a link to theirs, and they are. I wish they were. I wish they were here, because when you hear these guys talk, so they're fully integrated, I think is some of the words they say. So they own the fields in Ecuador and everything, and they showed us pictures. It's pretty intense. It's like, you know, they're just as intense and geeky and nerdy and passionate about coffee as we are cigars. That's why I think it's a great combination, great partnership. And actually, I nerded out so much that they did a contest with another Facebook group called Johnny Smokes Uncut, and happens to be somebody we're friends with, John Reamer. He has his own Facebook group, pretty tremendous. But they also did a promo, and the promo, Andean Mountain Coffee, we had did like the last month, and then they did a month before. We sponsored them. We were the first sponsor for Johnny Smokes Uncut. Then Andean Mountain Coffee did it, but their sponsor was coffee, right? So I had a great idea. Why don't I take Themises? So actually, in our humidor, we have about 10 Themises that we're actually infusing with coffee. So I actually put in a Tupperware. I put the cigars in a Tupperware, covered them with coffee, put a Valveda pack in there, closed it, and I've been leaving it there for about a week and a half. And somebody, when they pick the winners, actually going to get that 5-pack of the coffee infused.
Cool.
You know, I don't know if the right word, infused, whatever.
Science.
I know. No, well, you know what it is. The FDA with the food. We don't do. This is a promo with Andean Coffee and Protocol Cigars. We're gonna put them together so they can just taste nice and just geek out and do something special for people. So that's gonna be one of the prizes they're gonna get.
Oh,
That's awesome.
And not to go too far into it, because the FDA, everyone's been talking about the FDA, but how have you guys been handling that situation right now? Is it because the last I heard, the news was that they're delaying it, and now somebody's stopping the delay, and it's been a real headache. Are you guys doing all right over there? As
of right now, everything that we have is dated back to a predicate blend. We have nothing that comes out that's not either some cigar that Eric had or something else. So we've been dealing with lawyers to make sure that we have Every blender we have is linked to a predicate blend, so we're good. Thank God for right now. I didn't hear that somebody delayed the delay, so that's new. That's new to me, but I did not hear that one.
I just saw it over on Stogie Press, like maybe a couple minutes before the show. I didn't get a chance to read the article.
Really? Is that
I don't
something?
know
Is that
if
something?
it's
Can you
real.
check? What is? It is true. What are they saying? That sucks. Somebody in the FDA is redoing that delay. Is that what was going on? But regardless, thank God, knock on wood, we're good. This was good news.
No, something just came out today.
Let me see.
Oh, we have the updated copy here.
The court denies injunction seeking to delay the FDA substantial equivalence deadline pending appeal. Wow, that's just now. It just came out right now.
Yeah.
We'll put it up.
Hatfield just put it out. That
Hatfield.
sucks.
Bum, bum, ba-da.
Yep.
Bum.
Wonk, 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 wonk. But as of right now, we're still good, thank God. So that was great news, but now the great news has been taken away from us. So 2020 sucks again.
Yes. Let's talk about some positive stuff. Let's talk about this guy right here.
Yes, the
fourth
official
blend.
misconduct. That was the fourth one. So after the Themis came out, we decided to. We already had two fuller-bodied releases offerings to the market, which was the Protocol Blue and the Probable Cause. Then we had a lighter body one, and we said, "Listen, and let me tell you something. The Themis is actually the best seller. That thing, we can't keep that in stock, man. People love that. It's just a great cigar. That's a great." For your average everyday smoker, because you have your guys that really like light body cigars, like very mild, and you have guys like me that like fuller body cigars. But that Themis is right down the middle, ground ball, perfect for anybody. Because even the heaviest of smokers could smoke that and say, "Oh, this got some great flavor," and the lighter guys could say, "Oh, this is a little bit stronger than I usually like, but still very good." So to kind of go with that feel,
But
Go ahead.
the Themis, I remember this was a while ago, and Miguel and I had just heard of Protocol cigars, and like I said, we didn't have them in California, and I don't like to order cigars offline. If I can't get them here, I usually
Right.
just don't smoke them.
Mhm.
And I don't know, maybe God was listening or something, but it ended up coming in a Lancero in one of the subscription boxes that we get, and to this day, it remains one of my top 5 Lanceros. Is that Themis? It is
That's
fantastic.
amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that. So that Lancero, actually, we love Lanceros. And I'll tell you, remind me to talk to you about Lanceros a little bit. How that kind of happened with us. It's a funny little story. Anyway, so we say our boom, third offering. All right, what are we going to do for year 4 now? We're like, what are we going to do? And we're like, let's do another a little bit stronger than the Themis, but not as strong. So I'll put the official misconduct. So the Protocol official misconduct came out, and we actually did we did it a little bit stronger than the Themis, but so it would fall right in between the Themis and a Probable Cause. A little bit more on medium plus size. Great cigar. Some people really, really love it, and it's just that one is a Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler. That has we're in 2 sizes on that one, a Toro and a Corona Gordo. And it's been awesome. So we did it. Everything we do is law enforcement themed. So official misconduct, we figured let's have a little fun. And like when cops get jammed up is the term, when they get in trouble, the first charge they always get hit was official misconduct. So we were like, let's do official misconduct. And sometimes we'll play with marketing. Like sometimes you want to get into a little bit official misconduct. Just joking around. Like everybody wants to get in a little trouble here and there. But that also was done very well. So. It's more nutty, a little more nutty, bit of on a honey, kind of has like a honey finish because of the Habano on there. It's not too strong, a little bit stronger than the Themis though.
No, I definitely agree. That's exactly what I'm getting right now. That little bit of honey on the finish is very
Yes.
nice. And I could smoke these all day long, honestly. Yeah, like you said, not too strong, but you could tell it's there still. So I could definitely back-to-back this a couple times, having a good time with some friends, or just want to relax by myself. I could see picking this up any time of day.
So from the core line, if somebody wants to progressively start the day off with our lightest to strongest, I would suggest you start off with a Themis for breakfast with a coffee, maybe an official misconduct with another coffee or soda at lunch. Pre-dinner, you could do a Probable Cause. And then after dinner, nice steak dinner, you do the blue, which is the strongest. So that'd be the way I would progressive throughout the day. If you're gonna want to smoke 4 cigars of ours, and this way you could taste the differences of everything, because they all have this great level of strength, and they're all individually different.
That sounds like a good day to me. I think they might do that pretty soon.
Now, if you wanted to smoke the other 2 cigars in our core line that are out right now, they're a little. If you want to go for a Tim Wong level of smoke, if you want to smoke 6 in a day, I would say the Sir Robert Peel and the Natural would come after the Themis, and the Sir Robert Peel Maduro probably before the Blue.
Yeah.
So,
but that's the core.
Now that you touched on it, tell us about the Sir Robert Peel line.
So that was the core line. So last year was our 5th offering to the market, and we said we wanted to do something special. Like, if you look at the entire core line, the protocol, blue, red, gold, and silver, as you got nicknames for them. Each project is unique. Each project has their own look, their feel, their taste. But when you put everything together and you look at the boxes, they have a uniformity to them. Even when you open up, all the vistas are different, but they're still the P's in the middle. The P's always the center focal point, and maybe the art around is a little bit different. The color is different, but it's always has a uniformed look. So we wanted to do something different, kind of, a 180. And we've always kind of focused our lines have always been for the working Joe, the average working Joe, the cop, the fireman, the sanitation worker, the plumber, the electrician, those kind of things. Your average hardworking American. And we wanted to keep it simple, priced down. But we said, something would be kind of cool if we did something on a higher end level, not so much to touch on that higher end market, because in reality, I'd rather go with the average Joe than try to go with the higher end, cigar line. But I say this about the average Joe. Every once in a while, the average Joe wants to put on a 3-piece suit, nice shirt, comb your hair, and sit in a lounge and have a scotch instead of a beer. So those are one of the times when the average Joe wants to get fancy a little bit, put your pinky up, as we said, get a little regal. We came out with the protocol, Sir Robert Peel. So the marketing on that, the packaging is all super high end, higher end for us. Like, we didn't go crazy. Like, we could have really made it, but we just wanted to do a little bit higher on the production level. So when you look at the band, there's more of a traditional look. Like, all the P's that we do, that has a very modern look to them, very artistic, kind of new wave kind of feel to it. This one we went very traditional, and we did. I don't know if you could see it, but so Robert Peel again. So how do we do this? How do we take a brand that's law enforcement theme and we make it fancy? And so the thing that popped in our head was, what sounds more regal than the Sir Robert Peel? It just sounds, fancy. So who Sir Robert Peel is? He is a British Prime Minister, 2-time British Prime Minister, and in 1829 he created what was called Peel's Principles. And in these principles, he talks about how police should do, what their role should be, how they should service the community. And he basically created this foundation. And this foundation is what modern day policing, like if you were to go right now and take police science in college, you would learn about Peel's principle. So it was the backbone of what's considered modern day policing, through his principles. And that's how we decided to turn it into a fancier, more elegant, regal cigar, but still keep it with the law enforcement theme. And then we wanted to do something really special for our supporters. So we decided for the first time ever to offer a natural and a Maduro. The Sir Robert Peel Natural is a Ecuadorian Rosado wrapper, Nicaragua binder and filler, and that is just creamy, and it's got some great pepper to it, kick. People really love that cigar. And then I'll tell you how it's funny. Like, we didn't do this on purpose. It just kind of organically grew. So in 2018, I was in, or was it 19? 2019, beginning 2019, February, I was in Nicaragua. So last year I was in Nicaragua. I'm walking around smoking It's a Robert Peel, and I'm like, wow, this thing tastes great. I kind of like it. I'm a more fuller body guy. So I figured myself, I'm in Nicaragua, I'm in La Zona. Let me get ahead of the curve. Let me get ahead of what I'm here, and let me take advantage and maybe work on a cigar that for next year's release. So I told Eric, maybe we'll do next year a Sir Robert Peel Maduro. That'd be kind of cool. And I asked him, can you do me a favor? I smoked a few cigars with some Pennsylvania broadleaf. I was like, can you get your hands on some Pennsylvania broadleaf? He was like, yeah, why? I was like, I want to just for shits and giggles. I wanna try Sir Robert Peel with a Pennsylvania broadleaf. So he got the broadleaf, and all he simply did was take the wrapper off a natural and put the Pennsylvania broadleaf on it. And he goes, all right, boom. It made me want to try, and I tried it, and I fell in love with it. And I was like, do me a favor. Make 10 of these. I'm going to take them back to the boys, and we're going to smoke them and figure it out. So took them back. I was like, guys, what do you think of this release for next year? They smoked it and loved it. I've been giving it to my friends, and they were like, wow, this thing is amazing. So we were like, yo, let's be crazy. Why don't we just come out with a natural and a Maduro, and we come out with 2 and then see what happens? And they were like, all right, screw, let's do it. So we came out with the natural and the Maduro. Boom, came out, and they've been doing very well for us.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And as I think Chris had mentioned, you guys are following it up with the Elliot Ness, correct?
This is 100% correct. So the idea was, what do we do next? Everybody always wants to know what's next. So I asked Kevin, do you want to do another kind of Regal thing, or go back to the core line? And then Kevin was like, why don't we do both? And I was like, it's a brilliant idea. Let's do both. So then I thought to myself, what do we do? How do we take the protocol Sir Robert Peel and turn that into a next release? And I started thinking, and I'm like, I had an idea. Why don't we do a Lawman series? So we call it the Lawman series, where in Hollywood and in social media, sometimes in the comic books and the movies, even in the media itself, sometimes the villains are glorified, like the Al Capones, the Bonnie and Clyde, the Billy the Kid, the Dillingers of the world. And you very rarely sometimes hear about the actual lawmen that stop them and actually get them arrested and work tirelessly. I was like, why don't we do the series, call it the Lawman series, where we actually pay homage to these lawmen that work hard and give their time, and they actually catch these bad guys. So, and we'll say the first one was a Sir Robert Peel. That was the original one. And then the second one, we decided to do the Protocol Elliot Ness, and that's basically paying homage to the Elliot Ness and his tires and his hard work to finally arrest Al Capone. So, and we did it. And that one's going to be, the Maduro is going to be a Maduro broadleaf from Nicaragua binder and filler, and the natural is going to be the Nicaraguan Rosado Habano. So we're excited about that.
I just love how it rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
Rosado.
Phenomenal.
And I see a lot of people in the comments talking about it right now, but the cyber crime unit, Green Pea.
So the Green Pea, so the cyber crimes unit.
Looks
that
awesome.
is actually paying homage to Kevin. Kevin, on his day job, does internet security. So Kevin now has come from whatever, he was more of a side person in the company, but now he's a co-owner with me. And since he was coming to the forefront, I wanted to welcome him as being now part of the face of the company, to do something special for him. So we came up with the idea of, how do we take what he does, because while he's not a cop, but he does internet security. So I took internet security and law enforcement, and basically combine those two. How does law enforcement deal with internet security? And they're actually it's a real thing. It's called the cybercrime unit. And what they do is, and basically, Kevin works with a company that does it, but in the police world, when stuff are done, you still have to charge these people. So the cyber crimes units, from local police to the FBI, they all have their cyber crimes unit, and we thought it was a great idea to do that, to pay homage to Kevin's day job of internet security.
Yeah, I like that. I'm not gonna lie, that green pops. It looks great.
It is absolutely pretty. It is so pretty. And then we did the whole zeros and one cascading down, kind of like internet security, because it's all code zeros and ones.
I thought of Tron right away.
I want
I get-
Matrix.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say who, but yeah, maybe. But think about zero and ones falling down, so it's really cool. Like the packaging is green, so it just the old computers, right? Old school computer. Like we try to do things differently. Like the old school computers where you used to hit the screens and used to make like a popping noise. Remember those old? And it would be a black screen with green lettering. So we were like, that's kind of cool. Let's go with that. And then we were like, it just sounds cool. And then so the packaging itself is going to have a hologram. So you're going to see the P regular. And when you move the box around, it's going to look like the zero. Hopefully, what we're going for, the zeros and the ones should be looking like it's cascading down. So a holograph. Yeah. So we're excited about that when that comes out.
Oh, I love that.
And when is the release date for that?
Both of those, for the Protocol Elliot Ness and the Cyber Crimes Unit, we're hoping. Well, again, this should have been out for the trade show. But because of the COVID-19, I often use this analogy. A big company is like a Mack truck. They hit a bump in the road and they barely feel it. They keep going because they're a big company. But now smaller companies like a motorcycle, you hit a bump on the road with a motorcycle and you could feel it. You feel it and almost like it jolts you. Unfortunately, the size of our company, we're like a motorcycle compared to some of these Mack trucks on the road. But we felt these bumps more and they totally just set everything back. So we're hoping before the fourth quarter of 2020. Everything's in the pipe. It's all sent away. Everything's in there. We're just hoping that we've already had the blends. We chose the blends. They're going to be, we feel, phenomenal. Again, kind of shows like everything we come out with, just in case we don't sell it and we have to smoke it for the rest of our lives. That's the mentality we always have. Anything we come out, we have to love. Because just in case it doesn't sell, guess what? You're going to have to smoke these cigars for the rest of your lives, for the rest of our lives, I should say. And there's not one release we do that we do not absolutely love. So, of course, you love some more than others, but you have to love it. So these lines are going to be pretty good, in our opinion, phenomenal, but hopefully pretty good for you guys. And we're hoping for I really want them to be at some point in the next quarter, which the last quarter starts in October. So realistically, maybe hopefully end of October, mid-November. That's what we're hoping for. I want to give a shout out to Tim McCabe. I saw him out there. He was the one that actually did our little video where it's like a countdown with the numbers cascading. We put that up, and Tim's a great guy. Great. I have a toast to Tim. Tim McCabe. You got his comment right there.
No, that's incredible. If it's anything like the rest of the line, I know I'm going to enjoy it. I got very excited when I saw everything coming out for it. So I can't tell you how excited I am to see that release.
We've actually had guys tell me that they'll buy the box just for the box alone for the art. And don't get me wrong, it is nice, but I want you to buy it because of the cigar tastes great. So, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not gonna lie. Joel joking aside, it's beautiful, beautiful packaging. It looks really cool. That green pea does pop. And that's always the question. What's the color? What's the next color pea you guys can come out with? So it's been good. The green is beautiful, and it does. And I don't know what it is. It's just they all kind of pop, but that green really, I think it's maybe because it's like a neon. It's like lime green on the ribbon, and that really pops. And you're like, whoa, what is that? So
100%. It's very eye-catching, especially when you look at all the different boxes out there, the bands. They're all beautiful. They're great, but that green just really catches your eye. And I think it's going to help out a lot of shops too.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you were saying, you wanted to release the stuff at the trade show this year, PCA. With TPE being pushed back, are we going to see you at TPE?
We want to be in January's TPE, but at the last minute, we kind of decided no. I want to be there. Kevin's a little bit, so we got to come to. I would love to be there. I want to be there, but we just got to make sure it works for us. And I think it will, but I just got to convince Kevin to go. But I definitely want to go. I think I want to do both. I think it'd be beneficial to the company. But again, when you're working with a partnership, you got to both be on the same page, and hopefully it works out and we wind up going.
Well, here, this is a little segue, Sally. Let's just talk about the recent event you just did, Rocky Mountain.
Yes, we did a great event, Rocky Mountain. Usually it was a multi-vendor event, and usually you'd have people from all over the country going over there. Great event. If you guys have never been there, it's pretty awesome. Have you guys ever been to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival?
Yeah, no.
Tremendous event. A lot of guys from California go over there because it's not too far. But yeah, this year they canceled it because of COVID-19. It's like everything else they canceled. But Rocky Mountain asked Cigar Dojo to do a virtual event, and pretty much everybody else canceled. And Eric from Erica Katormson. Did I say that right, by the way?
Yeah. Good to
Wow,
know.
finally I said it right. I very rare do I
Little
say his
extra
name
N,
right.
but it's close.
Maybe I doubled an N instead of one. Anyway, so Eric asked us to please go down there. You know, he would love to. And by that time, I'm already used to seeing Eric 2 or 3 times a year. So I was like, you know something? I haven't seen Eric all year long. We already have the plane tickets. We already have this. And I was like, you know, and I looked, and you know, Colorado wasn't on the hot zone, so I'm like, let me take a chance. So we practiced social distancing, hand washing, and all that stuff, and did what sanitize all over the place. And we went, and Kevin and I, and we speaking of which, why not? Kevin and I went, and it was amazing to kind of deal with people again. Of course, you know, I'm a big people person, and I enjoy being around people, talking to people, interacting with people. But now they want you to social distance. So everybody there wasn't a big crowd. There must be maybe like 30 guys in an open. It was all outdoors, and none of it was indoors. And the weather, it got spotty. Like it rained a little bit. He had tents up, so it was an amazing time. And we went there and we did a virtual event. And all the major guys were in the virtual event. We had Jonathan Drew in show 1. We had like Rocky, Nimish, Rafael Nadal, the guy from JC Newman. I forget his name, and shame on me for forgetting his name. And then we had Matt Booth, Alan Rubin, Eric Espinoza. It was just a great show. So they spread it out for 3 events, and they did it virtually. And it was an awesome time. We had a great time up there. Shout out to those guys, and shout out to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad they're still able to do something, you know.
Yeah, they did something. Yeah,
right now. It feels like people need something. Yeah, they really do. And I'm glad you guys were able to head out there. And obviously, I want to see you guys out there myself. Actually, go to Rocky Mountain. So hopefully next year.
That's a great time, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. And it's all outdoors too. It's all outdoors, and again, it's all outdoors, and just
Comedy comes in 3s.
right. There's one more. No, that's it. So yeah, it's outdoors, and I understand everybody, you know, erring on the side of caution and cancel. Like every year they would have Lazona, and they canceled Lazona as well. That's a great trip that Eric does. It's actually like a consumer supporter appreciation event where he gets his biggest supporters and he invites them down for a 3-day thing. It's basically you get to tour his warehouse, and he cooks for you, you know, 3 meals a day. He feeds you, he gives you drinks, all kind of entertainment from karaoke to charades to a comedian, and it's just people that, you know, and it's just a way for him to further engage his supporters, his consumers, his fans, Lazona's fans. And since we're part of Lazona, we go down there and we have this great event, and it's a 3-day event. Unfortunately, he's canceled it, but I believe he's doing a virtual again, also do it virtually, where they're going to have some special cigars being made for people, like maybe some of our sizes and special bundles and things of that nature, and his sizes and his cigars in special sizes that are not usually available to the public. So we're really excited about that. He's doing a great job, and you know, it's just like in life, man. If you fall, you dust yourself off, you get up, and you keep on going. You can't, you know, let yourself get run over by life. If you trip and fall, you dust yourself off, and you get up, and you keep on going.
No, 100%. Yeah, I think this is just that year of, it's a big fall, but you know what? Next year is going to be even better because of it. I think a lot of people are putting a lot of hard work in right now, yourselves included, and we're going to see a really great year for cigars in 2021. This year's not been bad as far as, you know, actual people getting to hang out, at least virtually. You know, we're still seeing each other. It'd just be better in person, I'm not going to lie.
Yes, absolutely. And to touch on that, I actually think there, you know, I'm always a half full, glass half full kind of guy. So I think there is a silver lining to all this. This whole virtual thing, like we got the Protocol and Dojo got together and we did a virtual lounge, and it's open 24 hours on the Whereby, and people are in there. People are stuck in their houses; they can't leave, and they've been in this lounge, and we've been in there, and it's become literally a virtual lounge. It's like where you have your own lounge, and every lounge across America has their own specific, unique soul, feel, aura, energy. The same thing happens with this virtual lounge, but you're just at home. You're sitting there, and you meet new people. You get the same guys, and you become friends. And it's funny how many friendships have blossomed off of this. And I think it's another way to engage consumers, but not necessarily. It's not going to change the landscape of the cigar world. I think it's just going to be, when this all goes back to normal, I think this is not going away. This is just going to be another tool. So let's say instead of doing 20 trips, maybe you do 15 trips, 5 where you can't make it, but you do it virtually or whatever. I think this is definitely going to change the way the cigar business does business.
I think it's a great way too to interact with people one-on-one. I mean, normally you get a chance to talk to somebody at an event, but if they're not in your town, you're not in your area, there's always the Whereby to come on.
Right.
Oh, 100% agree with that. Yeah, I mean, being in California, it takes a minute for everyone to get over here. At least a lot of more of the East Coast guys. So if we could see you at the press of a button, that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
It helps. It helps out a lot.
1,000%.
Before we wrap up, you guys, is there anything else we can get out of you guys?
Let me see. We did a John Doe 2.0 earlier in the year with a beautiful shop in Oklahoma City called Ormeta Cigar Company, and in the next following weeks we might be coming out with the Jane Doe 2.0. So what we're doing with these limited, we only do about 200 bundles, and just to kind of, especially now, to help out the little guys, we're looking for small retails. We found one, and it's going to be in Rhode Island. I'm not going to tell too much about it, but that Jane Doe 2.0 is coming out soon, within the next 2 or 3 weeks. That's pretty much it.
Fantastic. Well, thank you guys so much for taking the time to be with us. Thank you to everybody that was watching, commenting. Really appreciate it. Everybody that shared the video as well. Thank you guys so much. And can't wait to get our hands on some of that Cybercrimes unit, the Elliot Ness.
Oh, yeah, we're excited. We're excited about the new releases, and we're very thankful. We're thankful to you guys for inviting us, and we're even more thankful to the supporters that are watching out there, because without you and them, we would not be here. So a big shout out and thank you, and a toast to all you guys.
Hey,
Salud.
thank you for being on, guys. Can't wait to talk to you again. Can't wait to try those cigars.
Absolutely. No, thank you for having us.
All right, guys, we're going to let you guys go get back to your day. I know you guys have stuff to do. And we'll catch you guys next time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today. I apologize about the earlier hiccup with the internet connection.
All his fault somehow.
But, as I was busy getting cigars ready, I thought Miguel had it under control. Obviously, I was wrong. So I'll make sure to stand by longer and make sure he's doing what he needs to do. Thank you to everybody again who joined in and commented, shared. Really do appreciate it.
Yes.
And hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview as well.
Yeah.
So don't forget, you guys, the link for the Whereby is right there at the bottom if you guys want to join that. Like you said, it's 24 hours a day. You guys get yourself some Protocol cigars. Try them out.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. And we will see you guys tomorrow morning for the last Great American Morning of the week. Saturday, normal show at 7 o'clock. We'll be over at Clubbers Lounge. And the pre-orders are still going for Pariah Cigars, guys. Get yourself the Rush. Get yourself the Noir. Try them both. Cannot wait to get them into your hands. And other than that, I think we're good right now.
That'll do it.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.